Welcome to episode 38 of Roid Rage. Subtitle here is How Not to Hit the Moon. The emphasis is on the not. I have Robin here today with us. Welcome back. We haven't done a podcast in a while.
No, it's been a minute, man.
Yeah, it has.
38.
Yeah. Like approaching middle age for a podcast.
I mean, we're starting to get worried about 40 right about now. Like,
Yeah.
it's over the horizon, thinking about, what have I done with my life so far?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what was the phrase? Officially over the hill or something like that?
Being on the other side of that
I mean,
hill.
I am too. Like, what's that saying about like
Yeah.
stones and glass houses? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wait, but here's Loic.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm 38, so this is hitting a little too close to home.
Oh.
So Loic, shut the
38
fuck
for
up and actually get
38.
to the podcast. Okay, cool. Welcome, Loic. This is your maiden voyage on the podcast, correct?
Indeed.
Okay. Loic is the principal flight science engineer here. I am going to let him describe what that is, and then I'm also going to let Loic tell you what he did to get here.
Sure. What it means, I'm not sure actually. Robin picked the title. I think he got fed up with some other titles out there. So it was cute. I liked it, so I didn't question it too hard.
Okay.
But really, in principle, looking a lot about how to design a trajectory.
Okay.
And some people call it mission design. It's a little bit more like liberal, but really it tends to touch a lot of other things. So you have to worry about all those constraints, requirements, all those things that makes that A line through space actually make sense to us.
And how did you, I'm going to back up. How did you get interested in designing trajectories, and what did you do that eventually led you to coming to AstroForge?
Yeah. I'm not sure where it started. I mean, kid, astronaut, things like that. Tintin, for those who know. Got me to grad school at Purdue.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to be a fireman or, a
Something
chief
like that.
spacecraft
Yeah.
mission designer. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to fly the things, and then, I have glasses, and back in the day, it was like,
yeah.
just screwed out of the gate. So
Yeah.
closest thing was
That's hitting a
let's-
little close to home over here, too.
There you go.
Mm.
Got to design them instead, or at
Yeah,
least get
that's what we
close.
do. Second best choice.
Yep. So Purdue, and then a professor there who became my advisor and everything. She's studying a lot of those complex dance when it's like the three-body problem, kind of like in the show and stuff, where you have all those. No, you don't know the three-body problem.
I mean,
Okay.
I read all of it. Yeah.
Good. So when those
The books are definitely better than the show.
Yeah.
Ah.
The show was a valiant effort
Yeah.
in it.
good.
but
I mean,
it's
it was a
hard
really hard
Yeah.
thing to make a show out of, but
so got interested in how those things dance together, essentially, gravity and stuff. So got me to there, got me to JPL, and then I took a detour. And I
Okay.
became an entrepreneur a little bit, couple of startups,
Okay.
and you can guess how it ended since I'm here now. But
good
and
for
from
us.
that, yeah,
Yeah.
Bad for
others.
others.
But at the same time, Matt kind of reached out, and it was good serendipity, and so it was a good time to. And my PhD was on asteroids, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So again,
And with
full
what respect?
So how to stay around?
Chap, does it even matter? Like with what respect? Asteroids, man. Like
I don't know. Did you want
you're hired.
He's over here saying I want to dance with bodies in space. So I don't
All
know.
right, all right.
I was actually more here for the framing than what
Okay.
the actual content
Let's frame it up.
So how do you stay around them?
Okay.
So not as much getting there, which now is my job. So I can do that though.
Yep.
Just to be clear.
Okay.
But really, once we want to stay around and do complex stuff, and
Yep.
it was also even more so with binaries. So when you have two asteroids that are in fact dancing with each other,
Okay.
kind of like the DART mission, and how to exploit that type of dynamics to do cool trajectories.
Cool. Yeah. All right.
And you said explore, not explode.
Explore.
Yeah. Just
but
checking.
I mean, with the stuff we're looking at these days, with
Well, I
NASA
just
and
want to know
stuff,
which mission we're on. Like, I'm not,
Exactly. We can explore, we can explode.
binaries. Like we've had a couple different guests on talking about asteroids in terms of the population and like what they're made out of. I'm trying to remember the statistic on like how many we think are binaries versus single bodies. Do you happen to know?
Yeah, it's 16%.
16%
At
are
least that's a
binaries.
number when I was a grad student.
Yeah.
That was 10 years ago. So
Okay.
who knows these days? But
Yeah.
it's a number.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a pretty hefty
Yeah.
percentage.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you're going to get to apply some of that three
You know,
body
that'd be-
problem
that'd
stuff.
be really, really cool. I think
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a lot of stuff for us to do there. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. So I guess we're going to talk about one of the things that you do for us, which is help us avoid crashing into the moon.
Yeah.
Which, just to say it out at the top, would actually be a pretty cool thing to do.
Ah.
It depends where.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Matt says it's company ending.
I don't know about that. It's a
Just
hiccup.
like-
It kind of depends if we meant to or not, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, other people have hit the moon on purpose, and they're like, "Oh, that wasn't,
Yeah.
ending."
Yeah.
And plus, like half the population would just deny that we ever did it. So like
Yeah.
we could just roll with
I guess
that.
it's a win-win.
Fair.
Either you
Yeah.
Don't look up.
finally prove the moon exists or nothing happened.
Yeah. So okay. So you're gonna try to help us avoid the moon that is actually real and does exist there.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah, I mean, the tricky part is that we want to get close to the moon.
Yep.
Like the moon is like this nice little magnet. It's going to slingshot around, and then we're going to be able to get to an asteroid.
Okay.
It helps us a lot. It gives us an energy, like it kicks us out.
How much energy does it give us?
Enough that instead of remaining captured around the Earth-Moon system
Yep.
and getting stuck here forever, it gets us out of the sphere of influence of the Earth, and then we get on our merry way to the asteroid.
So minorly critical is what you're saying.
Minorly critical, yeah. But it's like a dart, like a target, right? You need to hit the exact right spot.
Okay.
Otherwise, we end up lost in space.
Yep.
Or something else, right? And so we really try to thread that needle. And so we purposefully trying to get to a very special spot around the moon. So we have to compete, that desire to get close to the moon and hit the right spot and not hitting it.
Okay. What does that process entail?
Yeah, so a lot of optimizing and this and that kind of targets exactly what that optimal spot is to get us.
I like how this and that, like just yada, optimizing and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Exactly, it's just like, it finds the right spot around the moon to get us where we need to go. Based on the target, right? For us, what's kind of tough is that we don't know what the target is yet.
Yep.
We don't know when we're launching.
Yep.
We don't know exactly a lot of stuff,
Yep.
right? So we're building a lot of infrastructure and pretty cool tools to be able to do this at scale and super easily.
Yep.
And the Monte Carlo stuff is one piece of that, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And what does the Monte Carlo stuff do for us? Because I have a feeling that we say like Monte Carlo simulations, and it's the same thing as saying like we do linear regression, and people are like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Hang
linear
on,
regression
hang
is.
on. I mean, I don't want to insult our audience, all two of them. But let's make sure we tell people what a Monte Carlo
Yeah,
is.
that's what I'm saying. I want to make sure we're all working from the same mental model.
I thought you were just going on. All right, never mind.
No.
I should have given you more credit.
It's
Sorry.
all right. I appreciate the check. We're here about quality.
Quality.
Yeah.
So Monte Carlo, yeah.
Yeah.
Monte Carlo is saying, space is kind of a bitch. No, that's how it starts, right? And so,
I like that the guy who said we don't do enough math is just saying I'm going to describe a mathematical model by space is a bitch.
the point being is that there's a lot of things happening there that we don't fully understand.
Yep.
And we cannot as easily reproduce down here.
Got it.
We test as much as we can here, right? We test everything. There's a halo running, like the hardware in the loop running 24/7. But we still don't have a mini solar system where we can play around with a fake spacecraft.
Yep.
And
We should buy one of those.
that would be great. Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
So we have to rely on simulating how those things work.
Yep.
And there's only so much we can know about it, and there's always uncertainty, right? That's a big bad word for our business. And so Monte Carlo is saying we know we don't know everything,
Yep.
but we're going to try to understand how much we don't know about every little thing that goes into that model and see how bad it gets.
Okay.
So we try to assess all the potential outcomes based on all the ways we don't know exactly how the thing works.
Got it. And when you start to build a model like this, like what are the known knowns for you? Like what are the core variables that you say we need to use? We are certain about these.
I don't think there's a single one we can say.
Oh, come on. Can we?
Okay, I'll relax. Not
okay.
certain, but we feel okay about these.
Yeah.
I mean, like we know the mass of the moon.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
You know, but actually, one we think we know well enough for some reason here is the mass of the spacecraft, right? Because there's a cap on it, and keep saying it's gonna be on the scale. We fill it until it's
Okay.
right.
Yeah, we know how much the spacecraft is.
Yeah, we get 2 out of the n number of bodies. Yeah.
We should go back and find the episode titled "I don't know how much the spacecraft really weighs,"
That's right. I remember.
but let's carry on.
Yeah.
No, and so one of the big ones is exactly where the rocket is gonna drop us off.
Okay. Because that's not consistent we get some coordinates from our launch provider,
Yeah.
but there's a margin of error in that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And problem is that they have to tell us today, right?
Yep.
What they think that error is going to be, so we can do our whole work of planning the whole thing around it.
Got it.
When it actually happens, they'll be able to tell us much more precisely what happened.
Yep.
And then we can get into how the heck we we deal with that, right? But for now, they do their own Monte Carlo simulation to decide what that margin of error is, and then they tell us.
Got it.
And one problem today is that it's pretty large bounds, and so that influences a lot how much of the kind of the sky we can span, and so how much we can hit the moon.
All right, so we're talking about a little and a lot,
Yeah.
and like space is a bitch, and like
I didn't say that. Did I say that?
you did.
It's on the podcast.
Yeah.
And it's not even like the top 50 most questionable things that have been said on the podcast.
Oh
so
no,
You're fine.
yeah,
it's
you're not
fine.
even in the league. Like,
Yeah.
we're not even going to edit that out. Like,
Nope.
No.
zero. What's a little and a lot in this case? So, like, without getting into proprietary information and all that for our launch providers, like, what's a range of expectation on error for our drop off position and velocities?
Yeah, but kind of is like two big buckets in that answer. Is often we don't know how much is a lot or not because those things as a compound are a bit chaotic, the dynamics and so on. So sometimes we think it's a little and it has a big impact. That's more like the sensitivity of it, right?
Yeah.
So either way, we have to look at it. But here we're talking about just a few hundreds of kilometers, tens to hundreds of kilometers and
Okay.
a little bit of velocity.
Okay.
It's mostly because they look at their own uncertainty and they have to hit what they tell us, right? So they just, want to make sure that they cover the bases.
Yeah.
They'll know a lot better as soon as it happens. And then if we get to replan and talk to the spacecraft and so on, which goes into more like topics, then we can deal with it.
Got it. And so what, like, as you start to map out this uncertainty, at the risk of stating the obvious, like, what is the output of this? Do you say, hey, given a set of coordinates for a drop-off, you have a X% chance of missing the moon or Y% chance of getting to your optimal trajectory? Like, how does this inform your decisions on then what type of trajectory you design?
Yeah, that's a great question because we could be doing Monte Carlos all day long and get nowhere, right?
And we do.
Sometimes. No, but typically it starts with a question, right? And that in the case is, well, how likely are we to hit the moon?
Yep.
Right? And so that's this one is pretty straightforward one to hit, to map, is, we look at the simulation on how the spacecraft is going to move up to the moon based on all those dynamics. And if it actually intersects with the moon as big as we think it is, then it's a collision, and then we just turn that into a probability. So we draw samples, like you roll the dice at the casino. That's all the combinations of all the potential errors or uncertainty on all the parameters, and we keep on propagating and making those simulations, right? So
How many are there
of parameters?
of the parameters that we vary?
No, it's
Like, we don't vary the moon mass.
No, yeah. It's in the end we
Do we vary the like the moon is the gravity field is kind of whack, right? Like, you can't assume it's a point source. You have to put the mass on the sphere. Do we like vary the phase of the moon?
No, at least not at the moment. So we make some educated guesses on what we think has significance. The big ones right now are exactly where we get dropped off from the launch vehicle and the speed. I mean, another big one is solar radiation pressure.
Okay.
So essentially, the sun is shining on us, right? Yep. And so we know well how big the spacecraft is. That's another thing we know well. We know well how big things are.
Yep.
We don't necessarily know how much the spacecraft reflects that light.
Got it.
How much of that. And so that influences a lot how we get nudged by the sun.
Because at that point, you don't know our orientation to the sun. So, what else is? Where are the other uncertainties on specifically reflecting the light?
Yeah, well, one is talk right now, which I don't think it's also secret, but for example, what type of coating we put on the spacecraft for thermal, right? With tape, you put paint, different reflectivity that may change things a little.
Yeah, you paint it white, it's one number. You paint it black, it's another number.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
And then the big thing is to get that right spot, to get to the right asteroid, we are thrusting. At some point, we turn on those engines, and because we have those nice low-thrust electric engines we can fire for a long time, we can actually move a lot.
Yeah.
relatively speaking, which means we can move a lot in the good direction and we can move a lot in the not as good direction, right?
Got it.
We look at how
The
confident
not
we are.
as good direction. Okay.
I'm trying to be very
I'm
precise.
really excited to see that on our mission control. We're headed in the not as good direction
Yeah,
now.
Like we're going backwards.
No, but we have a pretty good amount of control
Yep.
and authority on the spacecraft. And so then how confident we are that we're pointing exactly where we think we're pointing and
Yep.
thrusting, right? And then things we don't control, which is the provider tells us a thruster can thrust that hard, right? And that efficiently, and we have to understand how confident they are in their own uncertainties.
Yep.
So those are some of the big ones today.
So we vary initial position, initial velocity, solar radiation, thrust,
Yep.
thrust vector.
Yep.
What else?
That's the big ones, yeah. Yeah, it's most of it.
Okay.
For this little, for the initial one.
This little one.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's I wasn't counting, but I don't
It's
think I
not
ran
that
out of
many.
fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and this is all driving towards that decision on what's that first burn, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah,
Or if you burn.
exactly.
Okay. Is there a chance that we don't have to burn? That we can just
What's our chance, Loic?
No, there's,
That's not a good laugh.
yeah, that felt like in the not great decision.
That's in the not good direction.
Yeah, not great.
that's it's more the should we, right? I think that's where Robin is going at, right? Should we being that because we have that authority, we want to make sure that we understand where we are for sure.
Yep.
Because if we thrust based on a plan, and so that we're not exactly where we are. It's like if I give you directions and you say, yeah, but I was 2 blocks down the street,
Yep.
I'm never gonna get there, right?
Yep.
And so that's a big one, right? The other one is can we, right? And of course the goal is to be able to talk to the spacecraft like we would like to.
We can. We will.
And we will. It's been known to happen that sometimes you can't in fact communicate with your spacecraft when exactly you want to. And so then there could be delays. I mean, there could be a lot of reasons why
Got it.
we would want the spacecraft by default to not execute a plan that could be harmful.
Okay. So this is all to get us to a corrective burn. Let me before we go to sort of like what happens after Monte Carlo simulations, like they are a tool.
Yep.
I'm assuming you learn to do them in school.
I didn't actually, but I'm sure some people do. Yeah.
I mean, you did learn how to do them somewhere along the line, right? Like I'm just
Was this not didn't come up in the interview?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
No, actually, I didn't come up during the interview.
oh
But,
man.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it's a known technique to look at behavior of uncertain systems and try to get to like outcomes. Right. Yeah.
Is there
I mean, to be clear, our mission planning is not the only place we do this. Actually.
Yeah, like it's
Yep.
it's done across, even at AstroForge, it's done across many different disciplines.
Yeah.
Right? Every time you're like relying on a simulation and you want to derive an outcome or a decision, most likely there are a bunch of parameters you're not quite sure about. And you should really look at what happens when you vary them a little bit.
got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do a lot of it in our perception, our
Yep.
our GNC,
Yep.
and yeah.
Cool. All right. So this is all to basically say we need to get past the moon. We need to get enough of a boost from the moon to be able to get out onto the trajectory.
Yep.
Do you continue to run simulations on trajectories from here on out? Like talk us through what happens after that.
Yeah. So this first one, we look at this kind of first critical phase, right?
Mhm.
Because depending on how well we hit that flyby, the swing around the moon, it might have some significant impact on our ability to reach the target we intended.
Ability, I prefer than impact. Just for the sake of this conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, impact here is a bit of a tricky word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But our ability to reach the target as intended. And so, yes, that fits into the next chunk, which is how likely are we to reach the target, for example, right? So all of that is also on the premise that we have, in fact, a reference trajectory, so a line that goes from Earth all the way to the asteroid, right?
Yep.
So then sequentially, we fit those things into one another.
Got it. And as you think about this in sort of like the second phase, we know some of the uncertainties in the first phase. What are the biggest uncertainties that you yourself, Loic, are particularly concerned about in that second phase?
Yeah, then it diverges into like 2 buckets. there's a nice, in fact, realm of the Monte Carlo, right? Because the Monte Carlo says you vary things a little bit and you look at the deviation in the outcome, but it should be bounded, right? The whole point is that, and then there's the more like what ifs side of the equation. It's the what ifs we don't thrust, the what ifs we thrust, but it stops early, what if we cannot talk to the spacecraft. And then you get really into oh shit moments, right? So that's
I think that goes back to the space is a bitch.
But typically they come together,
Yeah.
But so as long as we stay in that Monte Carlo behavior, then there's not as much worry on that specific kind of thread. But the flyby will stop thrusting, will gently swing around, and we probably won't be able to communicate with the spacecraft maybe for some time. So
Because
why is that?
as we pass behind the moon,
there's a big rock in our way.
with a big rock in our way, probably be in the shadow, we probably won't be able to maintain.
But as soon as we have that lunar Starlink kind of network up there,
that would be great. Yeah.
then we got it.
That's like coming on in like Q1 of 2026, right?
It's definitely coming on in Q1 of.
Yeah. Do we get flying taxis before that, or do we get?
Of course, I think all the reception is going to be pointed down at the moon, not necessarily on spacecraft flying. Although if we fly low enough, we could be under.
No, but
no,
we'd have
don't
to
do
like,
that.
what about
No.
if we can hit other stuff around the moon? And,
Let's not do that.
Yeah, it feels like he just made his job a lot harder.
Yeah, he looked really uncomfortable right there.
For a second, I was like, shit, is that going to be in time for that one or that one or that one? But so that getting to talk to the spacecraft again and then figuring exactly, so where are we?
Yeah.
Right? Because it's good if we can simulate and stuff, but at the end of the day, the spacecraft doesn't know where it's at inherently.
Yep.
But it could.
It could one day.
Yeah.
This one will not. Let's face it, right?
Yep.
He has to talk to us. We have to like do some fancy math on it and then tell it, is that where you are? And then plan against that, right? So it applies to the first bit also. There's going to be a few time crunches.
Yep.
Where we try to understand where exactly it's at, do some simulations, some replanning, make some decisions, and then continue on our merry way. Yep. So there's a few critical events.
On a nominal mission, ballpark, how many simulations are you running post-launch?
I mean, as many as we can.
Okay.
It doesn't stop, right? We should not stop. I mean, continuously, and that's why we're building a bit.
I mean, I think the only thing that would stop us would be like if we didn't pay the electricity bill and they turned the power off to the buildings.
And even then,
in the realm of the most embarrassing ways to say we don't know what happened with our mission, that might be number one. We just didn't pay our electric bill.
I mean, I'm not going to say it hasn't happened.
Wow. Okay. All right. So you're running you're just constantly.
Yeah. I mean, constantly. Yeah.
And like, how do these simulations in your experience then sort of help like make real-time decisions around trajectory, or how do we troubleshoot this, or is this actually important? Like what does that actually look like in practice?
Yeah. I mean, it's always the same words like critical and this and like that. But essentially the more we poke at the problem, right, the more we find things that either we thought could happen and the worry is confirmed and that we should find a solution to it, right? Yep. So go into like contingency planning and things like that. Or we'll hit things we did not expect. Yep. And so the more we can like poke at that and like find the things that we did not expect, and on a mission like this, there's probably going to be a few.
Yep. Because
not many people use the moon as a slingshot on the way out to go to a nearest object with a small EP spacecraft these days, right? That's kind of very novel.
Yep.
Especially with the size of our organization and the budget, the timelines, right? So, and that goes across, like Robin was saying, right? It's not just a mission or a trajectory thing. Like all the subsystems, everyone is running as many simulations all the time as we can, and structures and the modes and thermal, all of that all the time. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And you said that like what we're doing is fairly novel. Even if we were doing something that isn't novel, would you ever look at another company or another mission's like Monte Carlo simulations as a reference point, or is there enough value there to actually drive anything?
people don't like to share very much. No,
Fair.
seriously.
Yeah.
No. I mean, it's a thing, right? And here, before I joined, right, you guys streamed the operations from the previous mission, right? And that was like, oh my God, what are they doing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, are they not like worried, scared, and things like that?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
What's the answer?
Yeah, but
All
you
of
know,
those. Worried, scared, sleepless.
Yep.
yeah. But most people don't like to share, and this is typically things that don't go right. Right? People even like less to share when again things don't go right. So
Yeah, a few things didn't go right.
no, but there's very little out there readily consumable
Yeah.
kind of reference things, and then even if you're aware, it is very specific, right?
Yeah.
Based on a lot of stuff. So
You know, it's been my experience with a lot of these kinds of detail analyses. Even if you had the raw Monte Carlo output, let's say, or raw FEA or raw rocket engine test data, like you couldn't consume it. Like it would be totally out of context. You would have to have all the other details about the program and what ops were going on at the time and what was the configuration of the spacecraft, and like, so you really, even having the raw data, you sort of need those presentation papers and things, white papers, that sort of summarize up and actually tell you what the hell the data means or what they were thinking at the time.
yeah.
So what is a plot? You know, what's the visual thing of an output or set of visual things that you look for to actually be able to like human read? Like, I mean, I suppose you could just throw all this into ChatGPT and say, am I good?
Which, it's important to do just in case, right?
The
robot might know.
Yeah, the robot might know better. But like, what's the visual output of this? Or maybe it's audible. Maybe you have like a rock song. And
that's something we should keep telling James. We should play what our spacecraft communication sound like in the audible spectrum. Transform that and have a sound like humming, whatever.
There's an ASMR channel right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's like a revenue stream.
Yeah.
Get a hold of Crystal. I got a new revenue stream idea.
Rachel, I feel like that's your project. Spacecraft ASMR.
Yeah.
I actually did that with one of the rocket engine tests.
Really?
Yeah. I converted the high frequency data in the combustion chamber, had an accelerometer and a pressure transducer, and took the audible range of it and converted it into a WAV file.
There you go.
Wow. Yeah.
Spacecraft tunes.
All right.
It's like white noise with a whistle.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there you go.
You can probably make some shit up that with some very good, benefits for sleep, and I mean, I don't know, we can definitely make monies. To your question, for this type of stuff we're talking about, for hitting the moon, there's a magnificent thing called the B-plane.
A B-plane.
B-plane.
Right.
Okay.
Is this like the B-plane when they were like, oh, we discovered gravitational waves? Oh, wait. No.
Now, this one is just a way to look at where do we cross the moon's vicinity, essentially. And we can, instead of looking at about 3,000 lines all the time, because we run about 3,000 samples at a time just for kicks and giggles, and it's just a mess of lines, essentially. It's kind of hard to see what's up. We look at exactly where we pierce that plane. And that tells us very easily kind of what is the footprint of our entire spacecraft.
How do you know that's the right plane to look at?
Because some of those people have done a lot of math back in the day and decided this was a good coordinate frame to be able to represent the flyby specifically.
Got it.
So it's kind of combination of how far you are from the moon's surface or the moon's center, and at what angle you are approaching the
Okay,
body.
so it's not like a physical plane.
It is not a physical plane.
It's a plane relative to each Monte Carlo run.
Yeah.
A set of conditions that then you plot those on a common 2D thing.
Yes. It's kind of a way to reduce the dimension of the problem. Right?
Yeah.
Got
it's a function of that hyperbolic asymptote. When you get close to the moon and you're going to swoop back around, what is that virtual plane that depicts where you enter? And that typically tells you a lot about some of the outcome in energy and other kicks that you're going to get out of that flyby.
Got it.
Cool. I mean, I want a little bit of technical content here.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been using words like little, small, less good, wrong direction, less good direction. Like,
I mean, but everybody's got I feel like, Rachel, check me if I'm off. We've got a pretty good mental model of what this is. We had no idea what we were going to talk about before this, and now I feel like
hey,
you've got
Rachel, get off CNN. I know it's voting day, but like, come on.
All right, so we are past the moon. You've helped us hit the moon. now we have to get out to the asteroid. At some point in the future, we have to think about getting back, but like, let's just focus on getting out to the asteroid. This means you have to design a trajectory. How do you take into account all of the other bodies that are going to be near and around the asteroid as you design this trajectory?
Yeah. So for now, I've been focusing on my little part of the workflow, so more like the mission design, the trajectory, determination, generation. So I can control the whole universe at this moment, right? I make my own little universe. It's great.
Well, that's convenient.
Yes, that's
Can't wait to see the Marvel movie that comes out on this. It's gonna be great.
There's be stones and everything. But so I create my little universe, right? I know exactly all the bodies. I know all the dynamics, and I know what I don't know as well, right? That's what goes into the Monte Carlo simulation. The piece that we built upon it is once the spacecraft actually flies, like we talked about, we don't know where it's at. It doesn't know where it's at either. So we have to figure that out, and that's process of orbit determination. That's a whole different topic. We use two-way ranging. We back out based on the signal, how fast it goes, comes back, the frequencies, exactly where we are. Right?
Okay.
So there's a whole new domain of errors.
That sounds like a lot of math too.
That's actually a lot of math. Yeah, someone should talk about that.
You just gotta appreciate the guy that's like doing our mission planning with Monte Carlo. Is like, oh no, that's a shitload of math. Like, oh man.
Yep.
That's more math. And time and time. I'm gonna say time is a bitch, but
So space is a bitch, time is a bitch.
time and clocks. Anyway, orbit determination. So a lot new like realm of little errors and uncertainty around that. So then we'll want eventually to get into doing those Monte Carlos with the trajectory design and the orbit determination in the loop. Right?
Got it.
So where we think we are, feed that back on how that influences our ability to correct.
My Google bill's going to go up, isn't it?
Come again?
My Google bill?
Yeah. So that's when it gets.
You know what else is a bitch? Funding.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's fair. But we do rely a lot on. So obviously, the downside of relying a lot on simulations is that they do in fact cost a bit of money.
Yeah.
But a bit less than one spacecraft, and we do get to iterate on simulation faster than we can on the spacecraft. Right?
Yeah. Plus, we don't hit the moon, and well, I mean, when we hit the moon in simulation,
that's free. Yeah. Almost.
Well, less.
Much less. So that's getting there, right?
Okay.
And my job ends when we get close enough. Then it's the perception, like Robin was talking about, GNC perception. The autonomous navigation kicks in, right? And then they do a lot of other cool stuff.
And just to remind people, what is close enough, Robin?
Well, I'd have to bring Armand back on. It actually varies a lot based on the size of the body and the albedo of the body. So close enough is when we can see it and determine the target's orbit, ephemeris, essentially. So to Loic's point, there's orbit determination of the spacecraft, but there's also orbit determination of the asteroid itself. So once we find it and see it, which is then a function of how bright it is and how far away we can see within the field of view and how fast we go by it, it's a shitload of math. No, it's essentially a three-way problem of how far away we are, how far we're going, what camera settings we're using for the field of view and distance that we can see it, and then how fast can we determine the orbit determination to then of the asteroid to be able to slow the spacecraft down and then get there. Once we know where it is, then it's in GNC. We don't pay any attention to Loic stuff anymore. We're like, cool, man, you're done. Go on the next mission.
And coming back.
Or at least until we come back.
Yeah.
So what about coming back? Is that hard? Is that easier?
Well, I mean, coming back close to Earth, it's not much harder.
Is it like the same problem in reverse?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have like a B-plane on the moon again? Do you use the moon again? Do you avoid the moon?
Yeah, hopefully we do it so like we don't need to get nowhere close to the moon.
All right, so we want to like go on the other, come in with the moon on the other side.
Yeah. There's not too many reasons to try to get too close to it, except if we really want to hit it that time, right? It's one way to.
Well, I mean, if we're delivering our payload to the moon, like a moon base, we could hit it. I mean, that'd be easier.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things need to happen between now and then to have a moon base.
Yeah. Well, we could
Yeah.
if the moon base needs any rare earth metals, just let us know.
That's right.
We can deliver them directly to you.
Yeah. Before it exists, I mean, they'll probably need some of that stuff.
Yeah,
to
Yeah,
be
we'll
honest.
just start depositing it
it's
now.
It's a prepayment.
It's
basically.
a pile.
it's futures.
Yeah.
It's the futures market.
Yeah.
It's the second derivative futures market.
We're gonna have to have a podcast on how futures markets work.
It's a reverse. It's a reverse futures market derivative of rare earth commodities.
Maybe that's how you incentivize people to actually go to the moon and stay there.
Yeah, go get it.
Okay.
Put a bunch of platinum on the back of it.
Yeah.
Let's just try to. Can you please just avoid hitting the moon on the way back so we don't have to.
Yeah, let's
deal
do
with
that.
Robin's version of the Big Short.
Can we hit
on
the
moon?
Earth?
Yeah. Hey, the
I'd
big
like
short-
to hit the Earth,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I want to hit the Earth just right.
So that part, though, I don't. It's gonna be a bitch.
So wait, we've gone from space is a bitch to time is a bitch. I mean,
Earth
you
is
had
a
a
bitch.
long
Yeah,
pause in there.
Yeah.
It was like, oh no, this is the really hard problem.
Where's the uncertainty in getting back to Earth?
Well, the good thing is that we know where it's at.
Yes.
But compared to, we don't know where the asteroid is. We can't even see it in the sky until we get really close, right? The Earth is a bit easier.
We're not going to like mess up daylight savings time, right?
Are we not gonna? No, I hope not.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Yeah. No, that should be okay.
That was
Um,
actually a real thing. I mean, not on asteroids, but
Yeah. Yeah.
well, you have like leap seconds
Mhm.
to correct for. I guess it would be the dam in China has changed the Earth's rotation and wobble. and-
Yeah.
anyway,
But how would we mess it up?
well, if you don't
hit it.
account for leap seconds in your algorithms of what time it is, the time on the spacecraft, the time on Earth,
Yeah.
and the time on the asteroid, like you actually have to.
Back to Loic's.
Yeah,
The clocks are a bitch. Too.
Oh
That's right.
yeah,
I
time.
mean, it
Yeah,
was-
clocks
Yeah.
are a bitch.
Yeah.
Summarized it. On the way back is more so that the atmosphere is complicated, right?
Got it.
It's good though. We like the atmosphere.
Yeah, we do like the atmosphere, but getting to an asteroid, well, rarely an atmosphere. The moon, hardly any as well, right? So you get close enough and you've done your job. You slow down, you land, right? On the way back, there's going to be two things that's going to be hard. A, we won't have enough propellant to actually slow down and just meet and rendezvous very gently with the Earth.
Okay.
And we'll want then to re-entry through the atmosphere as they've done in the past, which is very fast.
Mhm.
So then you end up with all the typical problem of going very fast into an atmosphere. And so exactly the right angle, exactly the right time. And you want to do that in a way that the FAA is going to be somewhat okay with, right? I think Robin wants to blow up mines in Australia or something.
Oh man, hang on.
I like the word somewhat okay.
So that.
That.
Yeah.
Okay. We got to get out of here.
Yeah. I was like, that feels like a dangerous ride.
Yeah. Let's. I don't want any. We're done.
FAA will be completely compliant with how we re-enter, just
Oh, the
for
FAA is
legal
gonna be
purposes. Let
compliant,
me
yeah.
make that disclaimer. Okay, before we get into ourselves into any other trouble, or we figure out who else is a bitch on Loic's list.
I mean, legal disclaimer. I mean,
yeah,
we've
I know-
had Matt on this
Yeah,
podcast.
it doesn't do anything.
There's
but,
no
like,
legal
we're-
disclaiming.
You at least have to feign that we're trying to.
We're gonna have to get Crystal
Yeah.
back on to have an adult in the room.
I don't think she wants to come back on.
She has been avoiding it, hasn't she?
She has been. Yeah. All right. Before
Rachel,
we
we
get
got
into
to
this,
fix that.
we're gonna go into mailbag.
Trying
Loic, we have a tradition here where we peppered you with questions. I'm gonna go through the mailbag. You get to ask either of us or both of us questions that you have for us.
I think you should
So-
ask Rachel.
Oh, I get not even from the mailbag, just whatever I want.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah, he's telling you now,
after
so you get a
mailbag,
chance to
yeah,
think
so
about
You
it.
can think, think about it, and then after the mailbag, you get to ask
Got it.
some number of questions to either Rob or I.
One. Wait, whoa.
Some
One.
Well, usually it's one each, so we'll leave it there. Okay. The first one's easy because we don't actually have a GNC representative, but this is from Levi. As an industry outsider but learning Rust developer, is there any GNC or embedded code you'd be willing to open source?
Okay. Well, I guess for the listeners, Rust is a coding language.
Rust is a programming language.
It's a programming
yes.
language, and willing to open source, not at this time.
Okay.
And I mean, also, if we wanted to be slightly also gentle, is a lot of our GNC code is extremely specific to the thing we're building.
Yeah.
It'll
Yeah.
be very.
It'd be hard.
can-
It'd be hard to
learn,
like.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a learning playground. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although there are pieces of the code that are valuable enough and interesting enough to be used in other places. You would still have to modify it, but our perception algorithms. It turns out there's more than one application for finding something that you don't know exactly where it is, and it's really small and really dim, and
it's fast,
and it's
It might be
fast
moving,
and moving relative to you. Like that turns out to have
Might be
multiple
valuable,
applications.
yeah.
And so we have looked at some of that, and we would repurpose the code, but we would not open source it.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any plans for that anytime soon.
Yeah. Sorry, Levi.
Yeah, there's a number of NASA open source tools. I don't know if some are in Rust, but it wouldn't hurt to look at it. Maybe.
Yeah, you just got to get an SAA.
Yeah.
Let us know if you do.
All right. From Bruce. From the outsider looking in, it appears that the cost of the TLI is enabling technology for the initial proof of concept. However, it also appears that limiting your control over a number of opportunities to get going. Has utilizing a lower cost and greater availability LEO rideshare been considered for the initial deep space one-way missions?
Yeah.
Basically,
I got the question.
Yeah.
I was just hoping Loic would go for it instead of me.
Yeah. We look at it all the time. I mean, and the person is pretty smart. It's a good assessment, right? I mean, it is a limiting factor today, but it's also the fastest, most convenient way to get out of the system and get to the asteroid, right? But we looked at LEO, we looked at low Earth orbit, GEO, GTO, all those typical orbits, and then we can try to spiral out until we reach the moon and then escape and then get to the asteroid, right? I call it the spiral of doom on the side because it's long, it takes us many, many revolutions, a lot of propellant, and the truth is that today it's creating more problems than it is a solution, except if we really have to go there, right? But thermal is complicated, radiation is complicated, the lifetime of the spacecraft is complicated, so there's a
this is coming from you. It's complicated.
It's complicated, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it is, right?
No, it is.
Yeah.
I'm just, I mean, space is a bitch.
Yeah.
Clocks are a bitch.
Yeah.
low Earth orbit is a bitch now too. Yeah.
But we could do it, if
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
From Joseph, you've probably heard of Earth's new quasi-moon 2025 PN7. It will leave us around 2080, so this is a once-in-a-millennium opportunity. The hardest part of mining asteroids is often distance, and PN7 is very close to us. Has your company considered using PN7 as a test bed for your asteroid mining technologies? The closer distance may make it much easier to debug, address problems, and monitor prototypes.
I haven't looked at a trajectory for PN7.
I've not yet.
Okay.
We will.
Okay.
Hey, thanks for the suggestion. In return, if we decide to go there, you'll get a T-shirt.
Yeah.
I think we have talked about it, and there's some reasons that we don't want to go there, but
we don't know yet what it's made of, but most people think it's a chunk of the moon. And so if it is what it is, it's not metallic.
Yep.
We'd like to go places where it's metallic and there's some good stuff to mine, right?
How big? I don't remember how big PN7 is.
I don't know. Rachel, can you get a size check on PN7?
I can tell you because I
sorry.
it before. No, because I they think maybe about 30 meters diameter.
Okay.
Oh, that's a reason right there.
Small.
Yeah, it's too small.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
small. But it's close, is right. It'd be pretty easy to get to it, so who knows?
I mean, it could be interesting as a demo mission, but from my perspective, going to a 30-meter asteroid locally is not technologically. Well, yeah. See, that's the joke, right? Locally.
Yeah.
But like
Relative.
going to that target is not technologically much easier than going out for a near Earth object. Like, I mean, sure, orbit determination was probably better. Radio, I mean, we have to have a radio anyway. It would still be deep space. Like, that's not much of a change. I guess I could use smaller ground stations. That would be cheaper.
Yeah.
But
could also be a backup.
I don't know. We looked at it a while ago and we're like, nah, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
I just don't remember why. I'd have to go pull up some slides.
Okay. All right. And last but not least from Ben, NASA has several programs that let the general public participate in experiments and other initiatives. I know you're a much smaller team and probably don't have the bandwidth to run something on that scale, but I'm curious if you could outsource one experiment, project, or problem to your 7 podcast listeners Damn, Ben.
7?
Sweet. I'm liking this guy. Actually, I'm going to start listening more intently now.
What would it be and why? My question assumes that these are there are problems you haven't been able to address or won't be able to address in the near future. So you get to put a problem out to our listeners. What problem do you put?
Have you got one over there? Let me.
I mean, I have many problems. that we can, but typically when that happens, then we have to hire someone, or it becomes my problem. I mean, someone's.
Well, yeah, welcome.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't have like one at top of maybe like.
Oh yeah, you thought I was joking. No, I was like, oh, come up with one.
Yeah.
Maybe how to keep Rockstar stocked.
No,
No, not that
no,
one.
not that one.
I think there's a lot that we're learning from the new telescopes picking up all the asteroids, and they're making their way into the database, and there's just a ton of data to look at and to sort through and to understand, like, who's looking at which targets and collecting which optical data or property data or orbit data, or, I mean, there's just a mountain of data, right? Like, astronomy has really become essentially data processing. Like, you know, it's rarely is it looking at any one object at a time.
Yep.
And so I think being able to look at the coming mountain slide of near-Earth objects, actual near-Earth objects, not predicted, not statistical, that is going to hit this database as these telescopes continue to pour their observations into. Again, handling that landslide in a way that then can be useful for mission design and that kind of stuff. I think that's probably where I would lean to. Because every other thing I would say, you know, in terms of problems we have to solve are so specific that it would be such a point solution that it wouldn't be that helpful. But dealing with the onslaught of that, and that's all open source. I mean, that's a public database that we pull from. Those are public papers that are presented at a variety of astronomy conferences. Like, that's all information that's out there, and any listener could go get the same as us. We have our own internal tools that we use to process and query and build those tools from. But I think that would actually be helpful to humanity beyond just our company. And so that's the challenge. Piece of cake.
Yeah.
Piece of cake.
Yeah.
That, and we still, like, once we know something is there, it's often that we don't know what it's made out of.
Yeah, we don't know what all the other properties.
Exactly.
What's the metadata
Yeah.
associated with it?
And of course, we care about it because that's our business model, and we want to go mine it, right? But for other applications that we also partake in, it could also be the difference between it's going to end humanity and it's just going to destroy a couple of cities, right?
Yeah. So, well, that's a positive note to lean it on. Jeez.
But so there is some incentive to, like, understand a bit better what those things are made out of, essentially.
Yep.
Like Apophis.
All right.
Apophis.
We're at that moment where you now get to ask 2 questions.
Aren't we out of time? Oh, man.
Probably. I think we went well over.
Yeah.
And I don't even have anything. I've been so focused on trying to not say the same word many times.
You can do that.
You're doing way more thinking on this podcast than we do.
Yeah.
I mean, with Robin, we talk about a few things here and there, but I guess you and I not as much. So based on all of that,
one for Chap.
Okay.
What's like a mission design / related topics that, I don't know, you'd be like, would want to know more about, that would be helpful, and maybe even would that translate into the terrestrial mining as well, right? I mean, is there a thing where you're like, you know, to adapt that to Earth, it'd be great if we could do this.
That's a good one. That's rough.
Yeah, I feel like I just got sandbagged.
Yeah, you totally.
I have a question, and then let me ask this like really thoughtful question.
Yeah, I wonder if the listeners are going to figure out like how long we cut out to give you time to answer this question. They're going to be over analyzing this part of the podcast to figure out, did they cut away?
The best, like, back to sort of like this is sort of an answer to Ben. Like, I think one of the core assumptions that we make about asteroids is that they're going to be fairly homogeneous when it comes to like their core material, like makeup. we don't know that that's actually going to be true.
Mm.
We actually can do a lot of testing on Earth on heterogeneous materials, and that's everything. And like from all of the ones that we do think are going to be represented there, but it's quite hard to think about. Like if we had better data on what's the likelihood or the indicator, or even just sort of the distributions of, hey, when you get a asteroid that will have some amount of stony material there, well, what type of stone and what type of layering, how is it bonded, like all of that would be super helpful, because those are parameters that we could actually start to play around with on Earth. And without any bounding of that problem, then all of a sudden it's just like, cool, shoot lasers at everything, and then we'll figure it out on the back end. Like, so, yeah.
That sounds like a fun internship. Just shoot lasers at everything.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want me to shoot lasers at? I don't know. Pick it up.
Everything. Yeah. Just map the universe and then tell me what I have to go.
Just make sure to record what it was that you shot it at.
Yeah.
And all 1,000 parameters that go into
exactly.
it.
Yeah. That's super easy.
Cool.
That's
Nice.
my answer.
Very good.
All right. Anything, Robin?
I think Robin has been actually avoiding the other way, like the terrestrial mining side of things. Overall, every time it comes up, it's like, oh, I don't want to hear about that.
I'm sorry, what?
And so I guess, Robin, what do you see that maybe on the terrestrial mining that we can reverse it right now, apply it so we can do our job better in the space bit?
Well, I mean, actually, that's not very hard from my standpoint. The terrestrial mining serves as a test bed for the mining and collection equipment that we ultimately need to take to space.
Yep.
You know, for the spacecraft bus, mining is really a payload, whether it's lasers or drills or Smurfs. I don't know, astronaut Smurfs.
No Smurfs.
No Smurfs. All of that. I mean, it's a payload to the spacecraft. So, you know, what does it weigh? How much power does it need? What's the volume? Where on the spacecraft do I mount it? And how do I get the heat away from it? And all of that stuff. So the terrestrial mining for me is actually, you know what? I'm going to scratch all that answer. That sounds really technical. I need Chap to get some of the gold and silver out of the mines that we bought. Like terrestrial mining for me is like money in the bank.
Bling.
Yeah,
All
bling
right.
bling.
Bling, bling.
All right.
The first one was great, though. I think it was also a good answer.
Yeah, it was. But then
I
you
was
went
going there,
down
and I was
to
like,
let
actually,
me
you know
not
what?
overthink this.
Actually,
Like,
you know what? I just need his money.
Yeah.
I need Chap's money. Give me the wallet.
Fair. All right. Awesome. Loic, thank you for joining us and telling us how we're not going to hit the moon. That is a wrap. Next week, we'll be talking with our head of avionics about avionics stuff. I don't know what that is.
Has Chris been on this yet?
I don't think so. That's going to be a trip. All right. We've been way too long. Thank you. We'll catch you next week.